invading your neighbor, which a sovereign independent country, by the way, tends to lose you friends. And Russia's lost plenty after invading Ukraine. But the Kremlin is keen to show that international sanctions have failed to isolate Russia, the world's largest country, and that some of its friends are sticking around, like Turkey and Iran. Now, Vladimir Putin ended his first major summit outside Russia since the invasion of Ukraine, with firstly an endorsement from Iran for its response to NATO, and secondly with signs of progress over the lifting of the Russian blockade of Ukrainian grain. Now, the gathering has symbolic significance for Putin's domestic audience as well, showing off Russia's international clout even as it grows increasingly isolated and plunges deeper into confrontation with the West. Even though from Jerusalem and Jeddah, Biden urged Israel and Arab countries to push back against Russian, Chinese and Iranian influences in the Middle East, it seemed to be a tough sell. Well, it's clear now that there's been a tripartite agreement and a meeting. Israel maintains good relations with Putin, which is a necessity given Russia's presence in Syria, Israel's northeastern neighbor and frequent target of its airstrikes. Now, these talks are officially part of a trilateral forum originally organized to resolve the crisis in Syria, but as you know, Russia and Iran have formed an increasingly strong bond as both have been targets of US sanctions. The top takeaways from Tehran: well, Putin won the endorsement of the Iranian Supreme Leader for the invasion of Ukraine. Russia and Iran also agreed to sign a long-term memorandum of understanding to cooperate over $40 billion worth of oil contracts. In fact, Iran's Supreme Leader also said Russia and Iran needed to work together gradually to reduce the power of the US dollar. Putin also praised the Turkish leader Recep Tayyip Erdogan for mediating talks on the export of grain from Ukraine. Now, when we talk about Russia, Iran and Turkey, we're not talking best friends forever. Turkey and Iran are also Russia's rivals. Turkey and Russia are on opposing sides in Syria as well as in Libya, and Turkish combat drones have been supporting the Ukrainian military. As for Iran, it's competing with Russia in global energy markets.